History of the FIFA World Cup. The first World Cup was held in 1930 and it was played between the teams Uruguay and Argentina. Uruguay emerged victorious. This tournament consisted of 13 teams. The next two World Cups in 1934 and 1938 were won by the European country of Italy. This was significant because it was the first time a team had won a World Cup 2 times in a row. Unfortunately, the next two World Cups in 1942 and 1946 were cancelled due to World War II. The following World Cup in 1950's final were held between Brazil and Uruguay. Uruguay became the winner for the second time. The next two World Cup featured two new teams in the final. One was West Germany and the other was Hungary. Germany ended up winning this intense clash. The World Cup in 1958 was held between the country of Sweden and Brazil. This World Cup was significant because there were 7 goals scored in this match. Brazil scored 5 goals and Sweden scored 2 goals. Brazil emerged victorious. This tournament also marked the arrival of a then 17-year-old Pelé on the world stage. 4 years later in 1962, Brazil met up with Czechoslovakia in the final. Brazil won the game 3 goals to 1. It was a huge moment for the Brazilian country. The 1966 World Cup was significant because it was played at Wembley. The countries of England and West Germany played in this final. There were approximately 97,000 people in attendance for this match. In the end, England emerged victorious with the score of 4 goals to 2. This was the first time the English country had won a World Cup. Some of the players in the English squad in 1966 include Gordon Banks as a goalkeeper, Bobby Sheridan as a forward, and Bobby Moore as a defender. By the time 1970 came around, Brazil continued to break more and more records. They were the only team that had qualified for every single World Cup so far. They were also the country to have won the most World Cups up to date. Brazil carried their outstanding run of form throughout the World Cup and beat Italy in the final 4 goals to 1. This was the first World Cup that was held in North America. In 1974, West Germany won their second World Cup against the Netherlands. They won in the city of Munich, which was their home stadium at that time. The next time West Germany would win a World Cup would be in 16 years. The next World Cup final was held in Buenos Aires and it was played between Argentina and the Netherlands. Argentina won 3-1 and the game went to extra time. Daniel Bertoni scored the winning goal in the 115th minute of extra time. It was a tense game with 5 yellow cards given during the match. 4 years later, in 1982, Italy beat West Germany 3 goals to 1 in Madrid, Spain. In 1986, Diego Maradona led Argentina to a 3-2 win over West Germany in the final. The famous Hand of God goal was delivered during this tournament. Unfortunately, West Germany got their revenge in 1990 after a 1-0 defeat against Argentina in the final. In 1994, the final was played at the Pasadena Rose Bowl Stadium in Los Angeles, California. The teams playing in the final were Brazil and Italy. The score was 0-0 after extra time, and it was the first World Cup final to go into penalties. After an intense penalty shootout, Brazil became the winners and won for the 4th time. In 1998, a fairly new face came to the world stage. France and Brazil faced off in the final. France won the final 3-0 with players like Zinedine Zidane. The first World Cup in the 21st century in 2002 was played in Japan. The final consisted of the teams Brazil and Germany. Brazil won the game 2-0. The 2006 World Cup was held between Italy and France. This match was played in Berlin in Germany. Both teams scored 1 goal apiece, and eventually the game went to penalties. Italy won this match. The next World Cup in 2010 was held in South Africa. The final of this tournament took place between Spain and the Netherlands. After a fierce battle, no team could decide a winner. During extra time, Andres Iniesta scored a match-winning goal to seal the World Cup for his country. The next World Cup in 2014, a similar situation took place. Argentina and Germany took place in the final, and they couldn't find a winner. In extra time, Germany grabbed that goal and sealed a victory for their country. The latest World Cup was in 2015, and the final was played between France and Croatia. During the match, France won to the score 4-2. Kylian Mbappe became the youngest player to score a goal in the World Cup final.